Greetings, mortals. I am Nathas, the ruler of the underworld, and today we will be reacting to the newest chapter of My Academia, chapter 408, titled The Eyes Tell All. Hmm, I guess it's gonna be like one of those very dramatized eye chapters by looks of things, since usually these titles do weirdly enough have very literal connotations, but who knows, maybe it's not gonna be that. So yes, we start this chapter off by basically confirming that the way how All for One's brother got killed by him was kind of similar. Like it was a kind of dramatic effects because here we see like uh, All for One's younger brother getting blown to bits all over the place from the blast as we see the arm falling. And by looks of things, even like his upper jawline and everything around that actually remained. I have no idea what kind of quirk this is because this looks like some kind of weird. Well, okay, I don't think it's contortionary or something. Oh, that's but not a shrift, right? The contortionary. I don't think it's that one because I think that one is more than. But you gotta see, he gets sliced all over the place and is just ripped to shreds. But regardless, as we see like an awful one's emotionless expression, like, this is your punishment I should have done a long time ago. As we have the narrator popping out saying, he named his brother Yuichi, oh that's his name, Yuichi, with the kanji character for bestow and won, because his brother was the very first thing given to him in life. Yeah, very much again confirming he was more of a possession. He was the first thing he got, and now he just wanted to keep it like that. So yeah, as then we have some of Yuichi's blood spurting across All-For-One's face. As then we see what I'm going to assume was the Resistance, the ones who were fighting against All-For-One because they seem to wear like similar type of jackets. Kids all running away as we have the second, well, the third, I think trying to get the second back up because the after blast format kind of sent him away. As we have the limbs and everything just falling to the ground. As the narrator comes out and says, at this point, it had been 2 months since his brother had walked away from him. So yeah, he was basically hunting him down. Like I thought, there was gonna be some more time between it. As then we have the second user using his quirk, which I believe is Fudging, so I guess he's like doing this kind of deal. Or maybe he's always stored some. I guess just to like, counter shock or something like that. As then we have there saying, he locked eyes with the young man who'd stolen away his brother. Actually, same man would be more accurate, but whatever, narrator, you do you. A brother that presides possession of his precious possession of his. As we have like the second user falling down, looking at him emotionlessly, as the Alpha is also looking at each other. They all both have like a bit of a emotionless type of expression where you kind of see you see a certain level of like a expression, but it's like very supposed to be taken more as emotion, like sad emotionless, indifferent emotionless. Like that's kind of what the two have. As we have the two looking at each other with eyes, as they're both getting spurred with Yuichi's blood. That was his name, Yuichi. Yeah, Yuichi. Yeah. As we see the difference, and we see the second one for user has like normal eyes, while All For One has pure blank eyes. Now I don't think that's actually a design thing. I think All For One does have like normal eyes, but in this panel it's kind of like emphasize how like there's no pupil, no soul in it, just kind of well, it's not completely wide, but it's like you can just kind of just a circle around it. As we have now saying, from birth there had been no shine to his own eyes, as if they were clouded by this membrane, by thin membranes. Which I think actually when Overall was a joke, he also had like the same kind of eye expression, but I'm kind of blanking on the chapter exactly. But guys, then we get like a close up, like I thought, so there's gonna be a very literal title as we see that in the second one for user you see like a perfect reflection of All For One, while in All For One's eyes like you don't see a reflection of the second whatsoever. It's just a light in it. as we're now popping out saying, the sight of the young man was never reflected in those eyes. So yeah, as then we have a little bit of time later, as we see this giant building. I'm not sure if Ultron built this or just stole it, or because it's just this giant building. Because we see like some buildings aren't being destroyed, but some others, the ones who are around the main one, at least do seem to be kept stable. I guess it was like every king needs a throne, needs a castle kind of deal. No situation going on here, as we see all for One holding his brother's remaining hand. I guess that's the only part that was safe. And we see that's actually looking exactly like Shigaraki's hands that Shoki wears. This, I think, once for permanently confirms that yes, it was the hand that All For One gave Shigaraki is indeed Yoichi's hand. How is that gonna come back into play later? How the fuck this hand managed to stay stable for so fucking long and not just rot? Probably some kind of ice fridge or something. I'm assuming this is gonna be back in later. Maybe like when they're gonna have like that kind of Vastage World battle, Yoichi's gonna show what Spinner did to him, in what state he was left. Since I do believe the hand was in the room a bit when Spinner fell unconscious, like the final actions the Spinner took. Maybe that's gonna come into play. I mean, it's always been kind of ambiguous, like, how does Shiaki exactly feel about the league, but I feel like Shiaki would probably like Spinner the most of all of them. Like, if you had to, like, say which one you like more to hang out with, I'm pretty sure that Spinner would be the one who Shiaki would say. Like, it was a best friend with Spinner, not W Togas, but even though if they're more important members, but still. So, anyways, then we have, we have over a look at the arm, at the hand, as he thinks of the meta ability I thought I had granted him is gone. He had foisted a power on Yuichi's despite the latter's insistence refusal to accept that, which had been stolen from others or used to force others into servitude. As then we have Ofan saying, I think during dinner actually, as Ofan thinks, I've never observed such a thing before. My own power confirms that there is no meta ability left in Yuichi. I used to wonder if I had somehow stolen his actual power when I was too young to be aware of it. I guess that's the explanation why he didn't find anything weird about him having a super meta power, extremely powerful quirk, while Yuichi had nothing apparently. So I guess he just thought it was like he just stole it by accident, which honestly I feel like that video could probably be thrown away as soon as you're like, alright, I've used all my powers for my entire babyhood, and I haven't used anyone others than my own and mother's. I feel like you would have at least by accident activated it, at this very least. As they have over things of, but no further examination showed that he did have but no further examination showed that he have one. An insignificant, non-functioning bit of trash that my own power couldn't even recognize as a proper factor. So I guess and I was wondering why he couldn't track it was because the power was so weak, so insignificant that he didn't even process like it could be a thing. I kind of want to say that there was. I mean, the way how he kind of explains to it still makes me kind of wonder if there was like some kind of medical research type of thing. But at that point, it would be very, very new stuff. So I kind of question if he would like, and how much would he even really give a shit if his body has a quirk? It cannot be anything that could really do anything since he'll probably accidentally activate it. If he cannot steal it, it can't even then it was so insane that he couldn't even steal it because again his quirk would have granted him the ability to, but he did not. Well, he clearly cannot have done it. So it's like it doesn't matter. And again, I don't think he would research that much. I doubt every single scientist that create a new device that could tell someone's quirks and all that type of stuff would exactly he would Ofan would go break them into it, steal them, distill the technology to prove that his body does have a quirk or not. Like I doubt it. But yeah. Anyways, then we have I think Ofan saying to himself again, as if the factor never were quite took form when it should have due to malnourishment. Did I somehow activate it? Did it somehow activate itself? So I guess the explanation why it didn't process from his theorizing right now is maybe it was just like malnourished, which makes sense because the power itself is slowly building up strength and passing it on to. Yeah, actually no, I think no, slowing up strength is the quirk that All For One gave Yuichi, but Yuichi's quirk itself was just to pass itself on. It was kind of like just you kind of have to pass it, but it's nothing. It because unless if you know unless if you're like unless if Yuichi had like was like All For One where he would like pass the quirk on and then after some time you have to pass it on to, like unless if the Gucci's quirk was like taking away your quirk entirely, which is kind of difficult to say if that would work. I think it would. I think it's pretty much confirmed that you only can like take the Gucci's quirk, just the remnants of the quirk just remain in all one for all. But yeah, again, yeah, I don't think that it would have actually helped in any kind of way. Again, it makes sense why it's so weak. Why it would be so weak. As then we cut to somewhere else, as we see the second, the third talkie, kind of doing some research on it. As the second's like, "Hey boss, that day when he gave us thrashing, All For One didn't manage to touch you, right?" As second is like, "Give it a rest, Bruce." Is that his name, Bruce? I mean, I guess he's working on a computer, so alright. As we have the second is saying, "Just give me the results, spit it out." As Bruce tells him, "You mentioned something about your body feeling off since then, and I'm surprised you even noticed. You've got two factors in you: your original one plus some kind of unformed duo." So yeah, I guess this is the thing that's been happening. Is apparently second user told him to, alright, there's something weird been going on with my body or quirks after that thrashing that attack by All For One. Can you check it? And Bruce was surprised that he fell because apparently the two factors together were so insignificant that they didn't, again process and that you didn't even feel it for a while. So the second user just looks at his hand and he's like, "Right, I thought that might be the case." Like, yeah, it's suspect. I guess it's supposed to show like the second user is also very intelligent kind of guy. Like, he's not just like the, I've dealt with shit and I'm all serious. He's also he's kind of like the dragon now I think about it. The second user, well, I feel like the second 1-4 user and dragon would actually get along really well. As then we have at the same time all For One looking in the hands like the meta ability I granted him was essentially absorbed by his own to make up for what I it lacked. Stole in a sense. As then we get like a little good contrast in bound between Yuichi's state. Like Yuichi with when he was the revolutionist, let's just call them, he had like a one night like a somewhat long shirt, white shirt, uh, as he's in this like a slightly better area with some tea. Like, yeah, I mean there is clearly some off, like the chair is damaged, the teacups a little cracked, but but it's nothing made. But it's still better than the abandoned room that he was put in. As he's talking to them individually, he tells the second phone user, "I couldn't put a stop to my brother." As he tells in that abandoned room to his brother, "You've kept me alive." Then we have both him doing like kind of the same gesture. I guess he was probably just exhausted or something. A guy this guy gives me the idea this like the first time that meeting, like maybe it's like, all right, we saved you, okay, now we want to know as much as you can tell us. As the Yuji tells the second, he only sees other human beings as playthings or as prizes to win. As they have Yuji telling his brother, "If only you could have found even a bit of compassion for others." As then they both respond to, or at least what they would coming back on when they are remembering all that stuff. As the second says, It's like within me, Yuichi's will, as then you Ulfwan answer the sentence as they are both thinking the same thing, as he tells him, still lives on, and also the eye contrast is there. So yeah. Anyways, then we get to a space at where the second Ulfwan user gets a close up of his eyes, as we could. It was kind of kept. His eyes were kind of kept vague in those two contrasting panels. As the second user says, the ability to both give and shake. Also, I think that's the hand that's actually the one he used by kind of cleaning his eyes. It seems to be the same hand that Chuck is wearing. So yeah, and also, the user says could have been the kindest, most charitable power in the world's ever known. As he's referring, because the ability itself is like a really good thing depending on how you take it, but the way Ulfon used it was by abusing it. Like, oh, your family and anyone hates you despite you doing anything for them? Well, alright, let me take your power. Don't worry, and sometime then, don't worry, if your children get them, I hope that when your children and anyone else gets it, they'll probably be fine. Hopefully, the world will get better. But I mean, if you ever do, we will take the power. We'll have you. We'll take the power. We have them get their power taken as well. Don't worry. Here, oh, you want your quirk? Oh, you want your quirk? You want this quirk because of construction? Oh, sure. Okay, okay, use this quirk. Like that's kind of the idea. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we've seen Ulfon doing in the past. Like there was a vestige like that. Like we did see the reason why things went the way they did, but we see how this could be used for good, or match how it could be used for good. Anyways, then we get to this panel where we just have a bit of a quick flash of Ulfwan's life as we see him killing the second users. They look at each other as Ulfwan says, "My crocodile tears serve to cause confusion and dismay. All that I loathed and everything I corroded, and I had manipulated and corrupted to make it all my own." As then we get like a bunch of these panels all together. We have the second Ulfwan, the third we have Bruce, his confrontation with Ulfwan going there as we see him yeah, getting stabbed through by those by Ulfwan's monosquark. We have him like looking around as he's gathering followers. As we see what I'm going to assume is young Ujiko there, staring up, and the first time they've like met and how they became into each other, well, become partners in crime. Which is what Ujiko was referencing in a flashback, the backstory with Ujiko there. We see him killing the fifth Ulfwan user, or his fight with the fifth Ulfwan user. Remember, the fourth Ulfwan user died of old age and was away in the mountains. That's the reason why he didn't. That's the reason why we have him getting followers instead of killing the fourth, because the fourth did not die that way. As then we have him like, I think snap, getting kind of like a counter blast to like rip the fifth's body or something, and also says yet. As then we see, I think the sixth user and his struggle against Ulfwan, or maybe someone else. Regardless, it does not end well because we see that the sixth Ulfwan user actually. Or I'm not kind of surprised by this because apparently the sixth one got his torso and arm cut. As then we have Ulfwan saying, "You never behaved as I wish." As we see as we see the second Ulfwan use actually seems to be in the motion of giving Nana his quirk. I mean, I'm pretty sure that I'm not certain if the second Ulfwan user is was referred to as the predecessor or the master, but it's kind of a weird thing. Also, I'm not even certain if we ever was it ever shown that he was kind of have like. I mean, I think it was always kept very vague on how they die. With again, like just less detailed panels here, but I think it's the first time that's confirmed the sex Ulfwan user was like cut in half. But and how quick, like span of the moments, the quick transcend was basically like cut in half. Nan was there being like master of ancestor or predecessor or whatever. As he rips his hair back, quickly take my quirk. It's in contain my hair. I'm assuming he'll explain it and all to him. As we have her quickly taking the hair as he passes. As then we have Ophon saying, "I only want to make you mine." Then we have, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be the final battle with Nana, or no, this is definitely the Nana taking the hair and running away, while Ophon sees that the new who the new wielder is gonna be. As then we have Ophon saying, "I hunt and pursued." As then we see a dramatic, over-the-top, cool panel of All Might going for a punch. As we see the final attack that sealed the All Might beating Ophon. Disappointed we're not getting a full fight between the two in their prime, but whatever. At least we get to see the final blow. As we see Ophon in his start of the series close by the looks of things, punching Ophon as blood and everything just spurs out of the hat. Basically, that's why his hat looked like a potato at the beginning of the series. As we see Ophon saying, "Yet you slip through my grasp." As then we see All Might on his knees from after the attack, like, "Finally, I've done it." Then we see Ophon's corpse there. Then we see Gaki. I'm not sure if he already worked for Ophon at that time, or if this was like, "Oh shit, I need to get a master away from this immediately. I need to get away, or otherwise things are gonna go really bad." And this is like cool, once in a lifetime moment type deal. It's like kind of sneaking and helping getting Ophon out there, because if it was like how it was in the current, I know this was like when Ujiko had like a bunch of hospitals, because I don't think he would be this panicky, this panic. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Maybe he just feels in the pressure on or something. As there we have All For One screaming, "You're to blame for it, Kudo!" As he has a bunch of his quirks activating right now. I wonder, is Kudo some kind of reference? Because Bruce I can kind of see as a reference to Batman, but is Kudo a reference to anything? Tell me in the comments below if there's a reference to someone in Kudo. Maybe it's like some of those meanings or something. Like maybe the name of the set thread is Bruce, but Kudo, it has some kind of meaning that's similar to Batman or something. I don't know exactly. But regardless, we have Ophon thinks himself again. Kudo's bloodline was ended, leaving nothing to chance. I even eliminated every woman and child he'd been close to. If Kudo's blood somehow runs through the boy's veins, this is basically the world government going all on. Which, I do actually feel like All For One would get along well with the world government. I could easily see Eam or the Ghost to be like, "Alright, you're a member of the Ghost, although we don't trust you." Because, again, like, actually, he probably would try to conquer the Ghost and the Eam and all that, but I feel like All For One would kind of get along well with the Ghost and everyone there. And they have All For One remembering his first encounter with Bakugo, as almost like, "Surely I would have sensed it that first time." Basically, again, saying, "I would have known it. I know I should have sensed him being Kudo's descendant in some form of way." Basically, like, if there's anyone who's theorizing that Kudo and Bakugo are connected in some way. And then we have All For One saying, as we have Bakugo in the air, using his explosions to stay up in the air. As I think that the tomb, UA tomb or whatever, is actually finally crashing into the water. As Ophon says, "It's all in the eyes back then. His eyes didn't yet have that look to them. Just an incident, just an accidental resemblance. Yet I'm convinced that our will for resolve resembling Kudos has crossed time and space." Basically, conspiracy theory. I don't know. Give All For One his tinfoil hat on right now. As then we get a panel that's supposed to again demonstrate the resemblance between Kudo and Bakugo's eyes. As then we see like they're not the same, but I think that might just be the explosions and the smile on Bakugo's face that's kind of showing the difference. As then we have Ophon saying, "To thwart me!" What me? So yeah, as then we have Ophan saying, forcibly warping him away won't do much to tear his form from my sight because the only viable war points are All Might and Tomura, who are nearby to start with. Basically, explain why he can use this quirk because this and this reason, which I do prefer as a reasoning because let's be straight up honest to ourselves, there's quite a few times where certain characters don't use very obvious things just for the sake of. I mean, the Signario sisters, everyone. So yeah, it's nice that we see an explanation why he can use some quirks. As they have overall things of I can't afford to drag out this battle as it would shrink me further. Even when I do reach Toma, conflict is inevitable as he's already rejected me once. The whole no, you're not going out. So again, this is Shiraki's contribution to the fight, being an impossible addition, being an being well, not helping Orphan regain power in the battle. As they have Orphan saying, I must save all my remaining strength to succeed in that transfer. Such was my thinking, but no. Enough of this. Enough of this rational thinking. As he's kind of just going crazy. I think at this point, even if he doesn't want to admit, I think he's realizing just how he can't really do much. Like he's in a very weak state. He in a state that's very that in more longer he drags the fights, more damage he takes, he de-ages. He can't get past easily Bakugo because of the feats that Bakugo has shown to us. I mean, he can't just throw everything away, and is now basically just stuck in what can he do at this point. Even if he doesn't want to admit, he's basically lost. All he can do is win some cheap victory at this point. So Ovon just screams, killing you, reaching my goal, executing the transfer, all are one and the same. Yeah, and all of them are impossible to accomplish, and none of them will be accomplished because, again, it's kind of one of those. Again, you are at this point you just have like one. You have like one chance at this point. Like you have only one. As then we have all for one saying a bunch of the weird mutations and quirks and all that. As then we have we enter a vasted state as Yuichi senses to something. As Yuichi's like, here he comes, the ultimate attack. As we have all for one saying, Omnifactor unleash, all for one goal. So yeah, he's using all of his power. As then we see like this, what the fuck? Krogenbergian Eldrex horror mutation faces hats. Are those normals? I'm pretty sure this is some of these these monsters' mouths are supposed to be a reference to Chainsaw Man. Are those black holes? Or something? What is that? Some kind of weird scale? What the fuck are these drills all over the place going on? Are those fates are supposed to be the quirks that he stole from people he stole from? Or attack that's incinerating every single. Is that the after effect of the creation, or is that some other one person's quirk that he's using currently at full power or something? As he just screams, I will pass! As he starts, I guess, being a missile and going towards everyone. As Atshot and All Might are on the floor, as Atshot is like a massive energy surge to fuel his propulsion. Does he intend to claim victory with this single burst? Pretty much all he has, honestly, at this point. Actually, even this, I'm kind of wondering if it won't just tear his own body apart. Because again, it's like every quirk at once. I don't think there's any rhyme or logical combination. I think just using everything. As we have All Might saying, this will revert him back to a baby. He's bet the whole shebang on this. Like I said, it's like one fire blow. As All Might screaming to Bakugo, dodge it, kid! As we have the final, I think it's the final panel, or the very least the final shot. Obako in the air as he's kind of being proposed by the explosions, as his sweats are kind of blowing around him, like every single sweat just like a big, somewhat big explosion. as Bakugo just chilly says, "Some genius I am. How could I ever hope to be that?" Referring about how like. I mean, this is a kind of hopeless situation because again, this explosion is kind of being all over the place. Makes me kind of wonder how it will be dealt with. Hmm. So because alright, so this is the end of the chapter, and I think the next chapter will probably be how they're gonna be dealing with this explosion. I feel like the next chapter is probably gonna be one of those one attack is gonna be the focus of it, and and how it's gonna be like everything that's gonna go into countering it. I do think the spoilers are out, but I haven't seen them yet or read anything or heard anyone say them, so we'll see on how that front is gonna go pretty soon. But yeah, I'm kind of curious on how this is gonna go, especially since, Yuichi showed up. We get to confirm that Yuichi's hand is the one Shiraki wears. Shiraki is very clearly not on all for one side right now. It's one of those, and I feel like from abilities that we have on the table right now, it's Baku. I mean, all of them may but Deku is the one I don't think has any ability that would really be a good counter outside of like just a sheer punch of full force. So I could see either Shigaraki using his decay to like decay it all at once with those giant amounts of hands, or his own shock blasts, or Bakugo making the biggest explosion of a lifetime, which I think might actually be the case, and just kind of, fight fire with fire and counters each other out, although in this case I think that was just supposed to be destroying everything, but whatever. Anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts in this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of your mortals next time. Goodbye.